Greetings, 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 everyone. Greetings in the name of Yeshua HaMashiach. We thank you this morning that in the name of Yahweh, we thank you this morning. Oh, wait, I'm trying to pray. Wait, let me start over. Greetings, everybody. Welcome to Leslie's Lessons Learned. You are tuned into LKM Kingdom Living, Leslie's Lessons Learned. My mind is on something else. And today, our topic will continue to be, why do people struggle to be authentic? Let's get started. Oh, yes, 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 yes. I'm doing all kind of things over here that I thought was right. Don't mind me. Minister Wanda, introduce yourself while I try to figure out what I'm doing over here.
It's all right. Good morning, everybody. Good afternoon. It might even be evening in some parts of the world. My name is Wanda L. Floyd. I am the owner of WLF Academy, the Brains and Beauty Business Academy, where we teach beauty industry professionals how to do business better, and the owner of ICD Hair Care Center. I am a mother, I'm an author, I am an educator and a trainer. And I do a little bit of ministry sometimes. So we are just happy to be here with you this morning. And we know that before you leave, you're going to be blessed by something. Miss Leslie.
Yep. So today we just doing a little bit of ministry. We're not curling a little bit of hair.
Just a little ministry.
Just a little
We curled a little hair this morning, but
greetings to everyone that has joined us. So happy that you're here today. I think I got it together now. I think I'm on one accord now. Uh, um, a few minutes ago, I was trying to pray and everything else, but we're here, and I'm going to bring up my mirror. I am so happy for everyone that has joined us. Hopefully. Dr. Mathis will be with us soon, but we're going to carry on anyway. And as we look in our mirror, it is so good, so good. You know what? When I look in the mirror and I'm saying it's so good, I'm saying it's so good to be able to hold the mirror, look in the mirror myself, and still be alive in my right mind. Able, look, the old folks used to say, have the activities of my limbs and able to do what I need to do for myself. Well, I'm grateful this morning. And I'm grateful that not only that, when I look in the chat and I see the names that are here, and I say hello, shalom, greetings to each and every one of you. Thank you for being here. You know, Minister Wanda, when you look in your mirror and you're honest with yourself, don't you see a beautiful being, fearfully and wonderfully made?
uh-huh. Okay, so can we be honest? Can we be honest?
Woo, I'm nervous. Go ahead.
Listen, because the topic is, why do people struggle to be their authentic self, right?
Yes.
So being my authentic self, do you know, you guys, that listening to her say that and then having to say, was not an easy thing to do, because sometimes we struggle with what other people see. Especially if it's something that you have not been able to do all of your life. And even in our latter ages, we are still learning how to see ourselves the way Yahweh sees us, and even sometimes seeing ourselves the way other people see us, right? And so that was hard. I was like, I couldn't even give a real authentic, yeah, girl.
I know.
You can do that, right?
That was good. That was good. That's why I did it.
See, the setup is real.
The
The
setup
setup
is
is
real.
real, But we all need that. We all need to practice. We all need to be able to see ourselves the way Yahweh sees us. Because the first thing we think about is the outer beauty. But what people really see that makes the outer beauty shine is what's on the inside. So now, what I can say is yes, when I look in my mirror, and I don't remember the exact words you said because I kind of blacked out. Um, but what I do see is I see a beautiful heart. I see a loving and a caring individual. And that shines on the outside. So I can see why some people can say that I'm beautiful because I have the righteousness of Elohim within me. So that will always take someone and make them absolutely beautiful. So
And
that's what I see in my mirror.
I have a short clip I want to share, but when I every time I look at you, you're so fierce inside and out. You're so powerful, and I'm always like, why she don't see it? But you know, um, and that's something that we all need to work on. So one of the things I give, I don't want to call them clients, but people that I counsel, I want you to look in the mirror every day. And when you look in the mirror, don't just look and walk away, but I want you to continually tell yourself, I love myself. It's going to break you because all that's inside that covers up or that people don't know about, it begins to surface. And when it begins to surface, and after a while, after that surface, then you can begin to feel a comfort in knowing that you truly love yourself. And that's what we're going to be talking about today, kind of authentically loving yourself. And I want you to know, as always, yes, see, as always, that if you're sitting on the side of your bed and if you're looking in the mirror and maybe you're saying, is life worth living? Every day of your life that you have been gifted life is for a reason. And yes, it's worth living. Don't sell yourself short because that's what we do. When we look and things look like it's so heavy, so hard, we don't know how we're going to get past it. And we feel sometimes we feel like it's easier to check out. Sometimes we feel like we'd be people would be better off if we're not around. But you were never created to worry about what people think. What do I mean by that? When you begin to realize that you're not here for them, you're here for a purpose, you can begin to say that life is worth living. And yes, we all make mistakes. So be it. Okay, you made a mistake. It could have been a terrible mistake. And it could have been yesterday. So guess what? It's in the past. So I want you to stand up. I want you to get up. I want you to hold your head up, brush yourself off, and get being busy, not wallowing. Because we incubate things. We're incubators and we incubate things. We cuddle things. We pet things. And we have our pity parties. Our pity parties is not meant to last. Our pity parties is for a moment. I'm not saying don't have a pity party, but what I'm saying is don't stay there. The longer you stay there, the longer you hold up the progress of where you're supposed to go and what you're supposed to do. So I want you to know that life is worth living. Life is too good to waste. And can we say what we say every Sunday? I just love this so much. And I look at your beautiful tie and well, we got on orange today. That's
Mhm.
kind of the color today. And orange is a vibrant color. And when we look at ourselves, we should see that same type of uh, vibrant about ourselves. And we don't. You are special. And every Sunday I say, I'm not going to spend a whole lot of time here, but you are so special to the Father that when He created you, He said, this design right here is all right. I'm pleased with what I did. And it's something that Minister Wanda says that when we see ourselves differently than what he created us to be, it's an injustice. So let's say what we normally say. And it's a life without me is like a world without color. And if you can't say that today, let me say it for you. A life without you is like a world without color. Hold your head up. It's going to be all right. This too, and they say that this too will pass. I promise you it would pass. And you're going to look back and think, oh, I forgot about that. And while you trying to stay there and cuddle it, uh, easy thing, not cuddling something, but you need gas. Don't know how you're going to get gas. 2 weeks later, it's past. You got gas. You went on and you're like, oh, I forgot about that. Yahweh did it again. That's how it is in our life. We go through things we beat ourselves up. But once we relinquish it and give it to Him, He's forgotten it. He's moved on because He's not in your past. And then, right in the midst of that, you can look back and say, as the old folks say, when I look back over my life and I think things over, I can truly say that I've been blessed. We have you got to have a testimony. I'm going to end here. You got to have a testimony. Each and every one of us have to go through something, because if we don't have no testimony, we don't have nothing to tell somebody. You can make it. You can come out. Oh, I've been there. I promise you it won't last. Let me play this quick clip by this young man, and then we're going to go ahead and I'm going to stop talking and hope I get this right.
Heart. The problem is how you let people use your good heart. It's not because you're a good person that's the problem. It's because you keep on finding the need to try and play God in other people's lives. Is you keep on trying to find the need to help other people and help everybody else and heal other people in the name of kindness, while compromising your own healing. And let me tell you that that is not kindness. That is people pleasing. When you have to self-abandon yourself in order to help somebody else find themselves. And you need to understand this. When it says love in the Bible, it talks about love thy neighbor as you love yourself. That means you're going to have to love yourself first in order to love your neighbor. And I think most people, we always try and we always worry about the relationships we have with other people, that we compromise our own relationship with our own selves. You're not tired because you're a good person. It's not that you're a good person that's the problem. It's because you do not know when to step back. It's not that you're a good person that's the problem. It's because you do not know where not to fight, and not where to be a helper, not where to lend your hand, not where to lend your heart. If you keep on lending your heart to the wrong people, that's why you're going to keep on getting hurt. Means being kind means you're going to have wisdom to understand on where, on how, and why, and the ability to discern, is this even your fault? Problem is not that you have a good heart. The problem is how you let people.
So I thought about this when I was thinking about speaking on love today. And the struggle, that's one of the struggles in being authentic. The struggle is one of the things we find hard to do a lot of times is to tell other people no, that we go out of our way to please other people. And in the process of it, we know, and I'm just using this one illustration, we know that we really don't want to do something, but we'll do it to please somebody else. So we're doing ourselves an injustice by doing something to help somebody else. Now, let me say it this way. There's something someone wants you to do. Yahweh, which we know is God, says don't do it. But in our kindness of our hearts, in our emotions of what we think somebody else is going to do or say, we do it. And then we become disobedient to Yahweh, trying to please somebody else. And a lot of times it causes us to be in those spaces where we say, is life worth living? Because somebody has taken advantage of the kindness of our heart. So, in the process of that, we forget about being authentic because we're so worried about someone else's feelings, what somebody else is going to think about us, how they're going to perceive us, you know? And so when we think about being authentic, this is an area also that we need to tap into, because our authentic self has to be in love with ourselves first. We can't be authentic if we don't know who we are. We got to know who we are in order to operate in our authentic self. You want to say something?
You were doing good. I was listening. You know, I'm sitting and I'm listening about the people pleasers, and a couple things just immediately start running through my mind. There are some, I think there's different levels to people pleasers, or there are different types of people pleasers. There's the one person who absolutely knows without a shadow of a doubt that they are a people pleaser. They're always concerned, like you said, about what others think, what they're going to say, how they're going to react, how they're going to respond. And so my actions, whatever I do, whatever I say, whatever I give, whatever I wear, um, it's based on pleasing people or the person, right? And then there are some who are people pleasers and don't even really realize that that is exactly what they're doing. They have no idea um, that. You ever have you ever been with someone and we're trying to decide where to go, and uh, you say, "Well, let's go to the tavern," and somebody else says, "Well, no, I want to go to the burger barn." And then somebody else says, "Yeah, the burger barn is good." And you know that you don't even like beef. Matter of fact, you're allergic to beef. How about that? You're allergic to beef, which is why, you know, and then somebody else comes along and they're saying, "Well, I like the tavern. We could go to the tavern." Girl, we don't like nothing at the tavern. We want to go to the burger barn. And you know for a fact that you don't like the burger barn. There's reasons why you don't like the burger barn. And but because the majority of the people want to go to the burger barn, you don't want anybody upset. You don't want to be the one that, you know, turns the bucket over. So you will go along with it knowing that
You really don't want to go there.
you don't want to go. And instead of just saying, "Well, I don't want to go," the reason why I didn't pick the burger barn is because of this. So you go ahead and go and almost have an allergic reaction. You got your EpiPen. And I know that's to the extreme, but you got some people that do that, that put themselves in positions like that because they want to please everybody. They don't want to go against the grain. They don't want to upset anyone. So they will go along with the crowd. That was truly um, a harsh example, but that's reality for somebody. They
Mhm.
will really put themselves in harm's way to please everyone around them.
Yeah, and that's good. I have been there. Somebody said, "Oh, let's go so and so." Okay, and it's not the type of food I like to eat. I don't eat anymore. I don't eat like the seafoods and things like that anymore. But I went, and I'm eating the seafood, and they're like, they didn't even eat any seafood, you know. So you know, I get it. I get it. I've been to, Alicia talks about one friend that, if I'm not mistaken, was no longer a friend because every time they wanted to go out to eat, the girlfriend would pick the place. And this time Alicia said, I don't want to go there. And the girl got offended. And that, that and kind of ended their friendship because that means now I'm no longer in control. So real people that understand or are really your friend will not end up not your friend because you say, no, I don't want to do that. I want to do something else. When you're friends and when you're in a place or a position that you both can make decisions. Maybe this time we don't go where I want to go. Okay, let's go where you want to go. Maybe next time we go where I want to go. Those are friends. Those are friends. And a lot of times we don't want to lose friendships. And because we don't want to lose friendships, we'll go along, like you said, with the program. And a lot of times, even though you go along with the program, it still doesn't end up where you are still friends. Something's going to come along that's going to peak or peak his little head up to make you know that you weren't supposed to be friends anyway. I want to give a shout out to both my daughters. They're on today, and I appreciate every time. Look, it's an honor to me that they will take time out, even though Adrian comes in and light a flicker and go on about her business. But just the fact that she comes on and say hi, I appreciate it. I love my daughters and each and every one of you that's here today. We appreciate you being here. We can always have a conversation by ourselves, but it's better when you have more to join you. And not only that, if you have something that you want to add or you want to ask a question, please put it in the chat. Minister Wanda will be more happy to answer your question.
I sure will. I sure will. I will be happy to ask Prophet Leslie what's his take on this question. I sure will. But I was thinking, so then, man, there's so many aspects to this people pleasing.
Yeah.
One other one I actually thought about two. One was one that
I need to turn my camera off 1 second. Go ahead.
Okay. Another aspect that I thought of is the person that wants everybody to be happy and not even realizing that they're being a people pleaser too, because you just want everybody to be happy. You want no one to be sad. You want no one to be upset. You want no one to be offended. So whatever it takes to make sure that everybody is happy, that's what you're going to do, and that's a form of people pleasing too. Because guess what? Everybody ain't gonna be happy all the time.
No matter what you do.
Somebody gonna get their feelings hurt. Somebody gonna be mad. Somebody not gonna go. Somebody, something is always going to happen, and so what a serious and heavy responsibility it is to take on and try to make sure everybody's happy. So I will put my feelings, my wants, my desires, my needs, they go to the back burner just so everybody can be happy. And I kind of lived that in my marriage, but I called it walking on eggshells. So I became a husband people pleaser because
that's a conversation all by itself.
Listen, the abusive situation that I was in, I became a husband people pleaser because I had to do whatever it wanted to do whatever it took to make sure that man was not upset. He liked me. Do you know how exhausting it is to try to always be making sure somebody, I know that was just so ebonical, just ebonics, but to always try to, that's my word, ebonical. Y'all can't be using my word. It is so exhausting.
I probably can't even say it. Don't worry about it.
It is so exhausting to try to make sure, to make somebody love you, to make somebody want to be in the room with you, to make somebody anybody value you and adore you the way you adore them. I would run around the house. It was like a little puppy following behind its master, or a baby following behind its mother or father. That's the way I was running around the house, trying to get this person to pay attention to me, to interact with me. I wanted him to be happy. I wanted to be a good wife. I wanted him as a husband to be happy. Another form of people pleasing. When, man, it goes to a whole nother level with that one. But we do things and not even realizing that I'm not even being my authentic self, because I'm too busy trying to please and make somebody happy who doesn't love me the way that I love them. People pleasing.
You know, you was talking about that, and when I was a young girl, I had made up my mind that I was going to do everything I can do that to make people happy, so they would never have to go through things that I went through. So I would go out of my way. I would give my last. I would give my gas, electric money. I would give so much. And I remember this one lady one day saying to me, um, she called me and my phone was off. And I had paid her phone bill, had her bills, and helping her with her children, making sure they had clothes and stuff. And she was like, I was single at this time. And she looked at me, she said, "Why your phone off?" you know, but I just never wanted anybody to hurt the way that I hurt. Now that's a point right there, that we do things to try to make somebody else's life more comfortable, and it doesn't work. It doesn't work. They might appreciate it for a moment, but once that moment is over, it's over. So for us to desire to please someone else, so that they don't have to go through what we went through, is asinine. It is.
It is, because everybody has to live their own life. And we don't realize, I talked about this week before last, the what ifs. We don't understand that what we go through literally shapes our lives. It molds us and makes us and
It does.
us and teaches us and pushes us into the person that we are today, the purpose of your life. We might not like it, the things that we've gone through. We might not understand it at the time, but it was purposed for you. Literally, he would not put more on us than we can bear. He really will not. If you're going through it, he knew you could handle it. And he was going to help you handle it. He was right there when Yahweh was right there with you when you went through it. But it takes maturity later on to understand that I had to go through these things to make me into the individual that I am today. Those were, as your show says, lessons learned. And we cannot stop the process of anybody's life to try to keep them from going through what we've gone through. Now, we can aid in the lesson, right? We can help them along the way. We can teach them what we've learned, but we have to understand that's their journey, that's their life. Man, didn't we do that with our children?
That's what I was going to say. We can ready to take a curve and talk about the children.
we were trying. We do our best to try to keep them from making the mistakes, going through what we went through. Look, I've been here already, but guess what? Even in us doing that, they still make their own choices and have their own decisions.
Let me tell you something. And I heard this man say that, and I felt so stupid. But I remember my grandma was trying to tell me something. I was like, I understand it, but let me go through it myself. That was the most dumbest thing. But
you thought that was, huh? You said you thought that was the most dumbest thing to tell
after
you?
I got older. After I got older, yeah. Not at that time. Mm-hmm. At that time, it was just like, look, I hear you, but I'm gonna do this thing. And that's usually what happens. You can, after they get a certain age, you can talk to you blue in your face, and they're gonna make their own decision, and they're gonna do it their way. And that's when once they get to that age, we become mentors. We don't taught them. So we become mentors in their life. And we can say, well, I don't think it's a wise decision, but
Right.
that decision is yours. And then when they come back crying, we don't have to say, I told you so. It's
Right.
just,
Right. On the inside, we be saying that though. See, if you had listen, this will be saying on the inside, because some of our children are, well, your children are parents.
yes, they are.
Your children are parents. We not
Yes.
speak that over here because I ain't trying to be nobody's.
Bless your heart.
Amen. Amen. But on the inside, we'd be like, now, see, I tried to tell you that
Right.
that was a good decision. I tried to tell you that I had gone through that in 19 or and if you had listened to me, you could have. But again, understanding they have their own things to go through.
They do. And
Yeah.
they do. And that comes to me I was a helicopter mom, which I had never heard of the term. And when I heard it, I was like, what's that? And I went and looked it up. I was like, oh my God, that's me.
So what is a helicopter mom?
A helicopter mom is really, I think, age. They identify it with Asian moms controlling and ruling their children after they're grown, and always in their business and stuff like that, trying to stir them, or well, wanting them to do what you want them to do in some way. And I was, I was always trying to, if I was you, I'd do this or do that and do this. And why you doing that? And why that? And yeah, that was not the best way to handle the things that I handle. And when I found that out, I started loosening the reins. And
Okay.
sometimes they still be like, okay, mom. And then I know, be quiet, mind your business, and leave it alone.
Yeah, because it's a little hard sometimes,
It does.
It's a little hard to just let them live your life. Okay. It could be a little hard.
And it can be fearful.
Yeah.
As a parent, it can be fearful because you see the road they're going down, you see the mistakes they're about to make, and when they get over that, they're going to be like shaking their head, what in the world happened? But if that's their cross, or I shouldn't say cross, but if that's the road they have to take, then they have to take it because it's a part of their maturity.
Absolutely.
It's a part of their development. We can hinder people, children, people from developing by sometimes by us being in the way. It can slow down the process of them getting to where they need to get to, because the way we go, the directions we have, it's not always the direction somebody else is supposed to take.
That's true. And that's the part we have to remember. There were two sayings that I knew was like, ooh, okay. My mama used to say, it's your little red wagon. You can push it, pull it, or let it stand still.
I've never heard that.
I knew exactly what that meant. And then my father I wiped my hands of it. That was like, oh, okay. So this next decision I make, it better be a good one. I suggest you listen to what I'm saying, but the decision is yours. I wipe my hands of it. And my mother, it's your little red wagon. That was like, it's your thing. Do what you
want to do. I can't tell you
who decided to. But hers was, it's your little red wagon. You can push it, pull it, or let it stand still. That meant I gave you my advice. The choice is yours. Whatever you do, with that little red wagon, that choice is yours.
Yeah.
And they was releasing me to make the decision.
Yeah.
That sometimes used to scare me though, because now I'm like, oh Father, please don't let me make the wrong decision.
Yep.
So I guess I better listen to them on that one. When I got those speeches, I was like, yeah, I think I better listen to them on that. Because if
Yeah.
I don't, it ain't gonna come out well. I could tell.
Yeah. That's so true. When I think about it, we disable people. We disable people by trying to protect them and help them. There's children out there today, probably when we were coming up too, that don't know how to operate in the world because they were always protected.
Yeah.
The parents was always there to help them, even when Yahweh was trying to show them a different way, when Yahweh was trying to develop them, mature them, and we see them falling and we want to catch them. We want to put a blanket around them and bring them in the house because it's raining. Don't go out there, it's raining, and it's a part of their process.
Mm.
And we can no longer delay or damper or even put ourselves in position to hinder their process because of what we think is best for them. We
And
don't know like Yahweh,
right. And when we do that, guess what? We are not allowing them to be their authentic self.
who they was
And
made to be.
right. And then, like you said, we have children that grow up, they can't function as an adult fully. They struggle making decisions because mom and dad always made the decision. Or you have those children that will always come to their parents first and ask them what to do and whatnot, and don't can't process things on their own, even when it came to school, their careers, even the mates that they have or whatnot. The parents were involved in everything, and that's not really healthy. And so then when it comes time for them to make their own decisions, they struggle in that area. We have people right now who
Grown.
actually struggle, grown people who
Yeah.
struggle making sound decisions because they never truly made them on they've never truly made them themselves. Um, and the best way to make a decision, honestly, if is to take everything to Yahweh. I mean, literally, like this morning when we were talking about attire, and you said what you said. Do you know I do that as well? I was
Do
like,
you?
yeah. I'm like, see, you take everything to
Yeah.
Yahweh. Everything, y'all. What we're talking about is what we put on.
Oh,
Every morning I get up, I'm like, Yahweh, what should I wear today? Now, mind you, every day I wear black because in the school we wear black. And normally I'm gonna have on a Hinton hoodie and a Hinton t-shirt, but my bottoms are different. So I'm like, okay, Yahweh, what bottoms should I wear? Or, you know, all of that. And we have people that struggle making decisions because, like you said, we have enabled them. And we need to help people to be their authentic self.
yeah, we do. And one of the things that I like, I see Daphne puts a scripture in here, but the one that I like is it tells us to love our neighbor as we love ourselves. In other words, we have to invest in ourselves before we do our neighbor. And in order to do that, we have to know who our authentic self is.
Mhm.
We can love our neighbor, but if we don't know who we are, we can damage that relationship. Not only can we damage that relationship, we'll be putting more into it than we need to. Why? We don't know who we are, and we're not sensitive to the spirit to hear what the spirit is saying. Some people are so it's so important to them that they have a friend that they'll do anything to keep a friend. A lot
That's
of people.
good. Say that again. That's profound.
Yeah, that's a lot of people want a friend so bad. I don't remember what I said. Want a friend so bad that they'll do anything to keep that friend.
Hmm.
And so it's more about having a friend than having a healthy relationship.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And the Bible says that in order to have a friend, all you have to do is show yourself friendly. So that means I don't have, and I knew people like that, especially in growing up. You don't have to do things to be somebody's friend,
Right.
you know. And someone, and you often see this with people who are who struggle with, they're probably introverts. They struggle with making friends and being friendly and talking in public and whatnot. And you have seen this with children where there's a popular person, and so in order to be friends with the popular person, they start giving them this and giving them that and whatnot, and you're trying to buy friendship. Then you see it in teenagers, and you see it in adults that I have to do this to earn your friendship, or buying a friendship. Well, that's not true friendship, because a true friend, if I show myself friendly, then that's how you gain friends.
It
And
says it loves at all time.
mhm. And not everybody's a friend. That's what we need to understand. Not everybody is a friend, although we use that term loosely. Not everybody is a friend. We have associates. Friends are precious. Friends are jewels. They are rare commodities. And over time, a friendship will stand. I have a very good friend. She is my best friend. Um, and she lives right now in Colorado. And so, whereas growing up, we talked all the time, we saw each other all the time. Then she left me and went to college. That's what I said. She left me and went to college, and then had the nerve to live out in Irvine, where she went to college. And she would come back periodically, but whenever she needed me, I was there because we were friends. Whenever I needed her, she was here. She was there for me because we were friends. Our friendship wasn't it, it didn't equate us talking to each other every day, sitting up on the phone for hours and talking to each other every day. We might talk maybe once every 3 months, and it was like we never skipped a beat. That's true friendship. You know each other in and out. Your love is unconditional, and it does not mean that you need to be in each other's faces. Those friendships are rare, and you don't have them all the time. And so, but I didn't have to do anything to win her friendship. It just happened naturally. We clicked in the 6th grade, and we've been inseparable ever since. I think we talk a little bit more now, but that's not even on phone. That's through social media. Um, messaging each other and whatnot. But our friendship has stood the test of time through me losing my mother, to losing my father, to her losing her father, her losing her mother, getting married, all kind of things, having children, you know, um, not even being able to be there when she had children and going through all of that. But her friend knowing how to, no problem. Well, let me tell y'all what I said, and Apostle can get me later. So my friend, me over here that's just fertile like Myrtle, having all the children. And my friend was having some things. And so I said, you know what? This time, this is what we gonna do. I'm buckling down, I'm going in prayer, and I'm fasting for you. And this is what's gonna happen. I believed Yahweh for my friend. That's what we did for each other. And my friend is a mom. She's a wonderful wife. She's a wonderful sister, and we love each other to this day. You cherish those friendships, and those friendships, you can't buy them. That's the difference. I love that, Miss Leslie. I do.
That's good. That's good. And yes, we love is so, I don't want to say overrated. It's it has a misconception to it. It's not overrated. It's just that the world has taught us differently what love is. And the word tells us, the word came and showed us how love is supposed to be. Love gives, love hurts. It hurts. It's not always, Elohim went to the cross, that hurt. He took the lashes, that hurt. They scarred him with the crown on his head, that hurts. He, before that, he walked the earth and tried to give all that he could give, and the people that were supposed to be kingdom lovers hurt him, disappointed him, rejected him. Love doesn't always feel fluttery, can you say? When we look at TV and we see the love, I love love stories. And you see the love stories and how they end. You sit there and you cry. Man, I wish I could find love like that. They put a facade over love. Love is deep. Love comes from the outside, from the inside out. And the love that they usually show us is love on the outside. They don't show us, well, sometimes they show you conditional love, but they don't show you really how love is experienced. They show you how they want you to think love is. But Yeshua, Jesus Christ, he walked the earth. He walked through and loved in spite of. The Father sent him in spite of us disrespecting him, dishonoring him, not obeying. And he was like, but I love you. That's a different type of love. And the world has made it to make you think, well, that's only God's kind of love. That's the only love we see in the word. He doesn't have different kind of conditions for love. The world has given us different kind of conditions for love. There's only one kind of love, and that's the love that comes from him in us for somebody else. So no, we want the white picket fence. We want the prince on the horse. But when that prince get off the horse, what is he really like? What is he really like? After that fantasy of him sweeping you away, what experience do you have to really show love when there should be no love? Because in some incidents, you got to show love where there should be no love. When Yeshua went to the cross, he showed love when there shouldn't have been no love. What did he say in the garden? What do I really have? Isn't there somebody else can do this? Do I really have to do this? For a people that has already rejected me and I haven't even gone to the cross yet. Do we really know what love is? Have we really experienced real love? What does that feel like? What does that look like? And I shouldn't say feel like. It is a feeling, but it is an inside feeling that has to take place first. And when he loves on you, he develops you, he equips you, he matures you, and teaches you how to love outside of yourself. That's love. So that means when your friend don't do something that's right, how do you treat them? If we look at society, I'm not even going to say society, let's look at the Christian world. And when someone does something wrong and they rip them apart, well, that's what happened to Yeshua, but we forget that there's things that we've done that has not come out. We forget that it says to cover. It doesn't say to backbite. It doesn't say to put on your self-righteous jacket and walk around talking about that person or what that person did. It doesn't tell us any of that. It tells us to love. What does it say? Love covers. Can we walk in that? Can we walk? Do we know what that really looks like?
Love
So,
covers a multitude of sin. And you said a mouthful as far as Christendom is concerned. We can't even look at the world. We have to look at those who say we are believers and we're a part of the kingdom. Because literally, and I had to pull it up in Corinthians 13, it gives us the blueprint for love. And when we look at that, we have to do a love check within ourselves and read this and say, okay, am I doing this? Before we look at somebody else or Christendom and say, okay, because like you said, do we really understand what love is? Because that was why he was like, yeah, I've walked among them. You know, I've been here 33 years from a child up into this age, and I see how they love. I know how I love. You know, Yeshua was just born, but what was in him, the son in him, was like, yeah, I'm good with this. I'm really good with this. He knew everything that he was going to have to go through.
but why did he go through it?
And because of the Father's love.
And his love for the Father.
Yeah. You know, and so when I look at Corinthians 13, I have to do a love check within myself. Just like you said, do we know what it looks like? And it says that love endures. I'm doing the amplified version.
Okay.
Love endures with patience and serenity. Love is kind and thoughtful. And it's not jealous or envious. And love doesn't brag. And it's not profound or arrogant. That's not love. It's not rude and it's not self-seeking. It's not provoked or overly sensitive or easily angered. Love's not. It's not. Love does not take into account a wrong endured. So when someone does something wrong, love doesn't take that into account. Love does not rejoice at injustice, but rejoices with truth when right and truth prevails. Love bears all things, regardless of what comes. Love believes all things, looking for the best in each person. Love hopes all things, remaining steadfast during difficult times. Love endures all things without weakening. That's powerful.
It's powerful. So you know what I hear before you go any further?
Mm-hmm.
We don't move by our emotions. He has tapped every area of how we feel and move in our emotions. When we respond in our emotions, that's when we have casualties.
Come on. It's not overly sensitive or easily angered.
Love. And that's hard. That's hard now.
That's hard.
It takes a work.
That's hard. Yeah, that's not an easy thing. It's not overly sensitive. Love is not overly sensitive because it says love is not provoked. So if I love you, I'm showing love, or I love you, I'm not easily provoked. I'm not overly sensitive or easily angered. And then we get to the part where love bears all things, regardless of what comes. It believes all things, looking for the best in each one. How often do we see somebody or see a situation and look for the best in him? But we are supposed to.
Yeah.
We're supposed to. You were getting ready to say something.
Yeah. I want to put this disclaimer out there. If you're in an abusive situation, we're not talking about that.
Mm-mm.
If you're in a situation that is unhealthy, we're not talking about that. We're talking about that authentic characteristic that's within a self. We don't encourage anybody to stay in a bad situation, abuse, unhealthy. None of those things we're saying to stay in. That's not what we're saying. But we're just talking about the characteristics that we need to begin to adopt. If you're in a bad situation, don't take this scripture as you have to stay in it. That's not what we're saying. And we don't want you to feel that way. This is a powerful illustration of our life and the characteristic. It's just like the fruit of the spirit. That's a characteristics that we got to work in us and out of us. So that when people see us, they see the light. Not that you are bound to a negative situation. That's not what we're saying. I just wanted, I heard that because the church used to teach us, you stay and let God work it out.
Absolutely.
That's not what we're saying.
Absolutely. And I was a victim of that.
Me
So
too.
that's absolutely not what we're saying. As a matter of fact, if you measure, that's why we have the word. We have these tools to measure our lives with. And in actuality, if you measure this with what you're facing, you will see that it does not
It
line
doesn't
up.
line up.
Doesn't
It's
line.
not balance
It doesn't line up.
because that's not one-sided. That's two-sided.
Absolutely.
You know, if you have a friend, they should be the same way to you. If you have a husband, if you have a boyfriend, and I know we're not supposed to have boyfriend, but there's a lot of boyfriends out there. You might even have a close friend and the relationship is lopsided. You need to evaluate and see what that is that you really have. Is it just foolishness? A a relationship that is unhealthy and is one-sided? Is it a relationship that's undeveloped? Some relationships are just undeveloped. So please, we don't want you to think any kind of way. If you're in a bad situation, if you need somebody to talk to us, look, reach out to us. We're here for you. Don't ever stay in something that's unhealthy. I stayed in mine, and the spirit that woke me up one night and said, "Get out because he's going to kill you." I slow walked it, almost lost my life, walking up the green pastures, sunlight, everything beautiful. And he realized that I guess was about to kill me and slapped me, and it brought me back. Don't stay in bad situations. And if Ruach, the Holy Spirit, is nudging you, pay attention. Pay attention. I promise you, pay attention.
Absolutely.
And don't stand there waiting, because that's one of the things I was doing. I was waiting for God to change things around so I can have a testimony like some of those women that had powerful testimonies. But I wasn't married to someone he told me to marry. I thought I was supposed to marry this person. I was moved by the anointing in this person. And we're about to close. We're not going here, but I just want you to know. I just want you to know that we love you and we're concerned, and we want everybody to um, experience the best part of Elohim. Some call him God. There, we are experiencing things now of him because we're learning of him, and because we're learning of him, learning how to get into the secret place, it's developing us differently than it was before. And I'm not talking about it, Ashley, because it's not worth it. I'm not talking about it because we don't have enough time. And that's a whole nother subject. There's women out there, and that's why I wrote the portion in the book, "The Secret of a Pastor's Wife," but a secret of women in ministry that cover and not uncover the person that they're married to. One day we'll talk about that. Why you look like that, one day?
Because it's the truth. We do. Maybe one day we should, but no,
It might be a special edition, but
because we do that being married and being in an abusive relationship while in the church is a whole different thing.
yeah,
But like you said, we just want you to have life and that more abundantly, and that is not requiring us to stay in anything that is detrimental to our life to make somebody else happy. We started off this thing about being people pleasers, and we will do that in relationships to keep the other person happy while we are slowly leaving here. So we want you happy, we want you whole, and we want you healthy. And you can only have that with the love of Elohim. And so do what's necessary to make sure that you are living an abundant life. He wants us to be in good health and prosper, even as our soul prospers,
and that's a whole nother subject right there. That's soul.
right? But your soul can't prosper. You can't be in good health if you're in something. So love yourself because Yahweh loves you, and hold on to his love.
And that's the key. It's all about you. Even though we talked about several different areas, it's all about you. And I don't have to say anything else. Minister Wanda has said it all. And we're so happy you were here. We hope that you take something away from today. And the most important thing is to love the way Yahweh loves, not our way that the world has taught us to love. Seek ye first the kingdom and his righteousness. You got to seek him. Understand his word. Bring balance to your life. And I said I wasn't saying nothing. Be quiet. So as we leave out today, thank you for being here. And we don't want you to struggle with your authentic self. We want you to have be positive and be sure of who you are. So until we meet again, I want to say we love you and thank you so much for being here. Have an amazing rest of the day. If you did not hit that like sign, if you did not share, or you did not subscribe, please do so before you leave. And to those, I'm sorry, to those that come on afterwards, there's so many that come on afterwards and say, your show has blessed me, or I got this from your show. And we don't even know that they're watching. There's one young lady, and I'm not going to call out her name. She's dear to my heart. She says, I watch you and Minister Wanda every week when I get to work.
Thank you.
And she said she's so blessed by it.
Yeah, we be praised.
Somebody reached me from somewhere else. I don't even know. talking about how the topics is so unique and how blessed they are. So we just want to thank you. And this is nothing of us. This is all Yahweh. But we appreciate the fact that he trusts us enough to be here to love on you for an hour. So until we meet again, know that we love you. We can never love you like Yahweh if you don't know him.
That's right. And
Seek
one more thing.
this.
One more
Yes. Mhm.
thing. Somebody needs to hear this one more time. A life
Without color.
without you is like a world without color.
Yes.
And we need your color.
Love you.
Love you.